Further adventures in no kitchen cooking. Dinner tonight will be a cold cheese and bean dip. Mostly because himself came home from work coffee and achy because he's been working out in that weather. If you're not from the greater Puget Sound, Portland area, we have snow. It's cold out. He's been working outside in it because he's a park ranger, because that's what he wants to be when he grows up. And yeah, he came home in a state where I just don't want to send him to the community kitchen to cook. There, that's better. So you're going to get to see how I make a basic cheese ball bean dip without a recipe, because winging it. First you grate cheese, and you grate cheese on the little side, not the big side, so that it melts in, or mixes in better. This is going to take a little while. So how's life treating you? How's the weather on your side of the country, wherever you happen to be? Had somebody at a social thing the other night start on the humans don't cause climate change bullshit. And I was just kind of like, huh, humans do cause climate change. Mount Pinatubo also caused climate change. There's too many factors involved for you to even think you know what does and doesn't cause. What we do know is that humans can affect climate change. And if we can affect it, then we should be working to minimize it. So that's about a cup grated. I can't move that and hold this at the same time. Anyway, that's about a cup of cheese grated. Now this goes back into the refrigerator. One of the tricks with a small kitchen is that while you get everything out, yeah, I use giant plastic bags to put my cheese into. The secret to that is only use bags that come from food stores. Don't use a Home Depot bag to put food back into the refrigerator. Just don't do it. That needs to go there. Now I'm going to use half of this, and before I open it, I have to get something to put it into, and that will work. Maybe. Somebody gave us a gift card for Harry and David's during the Christmas season, so I have a couple of Harry and David bags. They're a chocolate place. They're really yummy. They're way expensive. I mean, way expensive. So this cheese is a dry, crumbly cheese. It's packed wet. It's similar to a ricotta. Can you see that it's packed in water? It's similar to a ricotta. Sorta. Anyway, I like it for dips and stuff. That has to come out first. Ah, sorry. I don't know that I'll use this video. We'll see. Okay, that's used. And I don't need it anymore, so it can go over here out of the way. I put the liquid into the bowl, and I'm going to use half of this. Now, once it's opened up, I have about 3 days to use the other half. I don't have much more. And dump that in there. Put the knife on my clean surface, and put this away. The husband has a meeting tomorrow with the lawyer concerning the car accident. It's really annoying. You know, I'm going to use a cheese grater for that. This will crumble if I want to get my hands really messy. But then I'll have to go into the bathroom and wash my hands compulsively. And I want to get this done before I have to do that. So yeah, can you see that this does great? It's just really crumbly, and like here my thumb is squished in that far. That's not a grate off, that's the thumb squishing in. So you get into an accident and they take you to the emergency room, and they do x-rays and a CAT scan, and they tell you to follow up with a primary care, which I don't have, and they say you're going to need physical therapy and all that shit. But I don't have a physical primary care yet, because we opted for the lower cost insurance policy through the city, and there's a waiting list. And once we start using the doctor, there's co-pays and out-of-pockets and deductibles. And we just don't have the funds for that right now, because we're trying to get a house. And we can either get a house, or we can be paying off the $3,000 in out-of-pocket to make the insurance work. Now, yeah, it's a car accident. The other guy's insurance is supposed to cover it, but the other guy's insurance is not going to cover it until they settle the claim, which means we have to pay out-of-pocket, which means we didn't go, which means he's going to go into the lawyer tomorrow and say, no, we didn't go to the doctor, we didn't go. I hate squeeze bottles, just for the record. Squeeze bottles are designed to make you waste that much product. It never comes out. And you sit here doing this until you're just totally burnt out on it. Now, mind you, I'm not a big fan of mayonnaise to begin with. And, you know, somebody will invariably say, well, take the lid off. If you take the lid off, you lose that suction, and then it really doesn't come out. And yeah, it's not that much. It's like a quarter cup in the bottom of the jar. You can't see me shaking, but it's like a quarter cup in the bottom of the jar. But you can't get it out. I prefer a jar I can get a knife into. That's my grump for the day. Next thing going in is mild green chilies, fire roasted, and I use them juice and all. I just dump the whole mess in. Yeah, it's the back starting to hurt already. I have other friends who have gotten into car accidents, and they're like, oh yeah, I went to the doctor, and got this, and I had physical therapy, and I had massage therapy, and blah, 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 and then we settled, and I got my check. I'm like, oh, how much did you get? Well, after the lawyer, I got so much money. Oh, how much did you pay for all the medical that you had to pay out of pocket in advance? Oh, I don't know, that's all in my insurance. Well, yeah, but you had to pay in advance. How much did you pay? They don't actually pay attention. And I honestly suspect that quite frequently it comes down to, I went to bingo with $50 in my pocket, came home with $30 in my pocket, and I'm bragging that I won 20 bucks. Because they're not tracking their out-of-pocket deductible, they're not tracking their co-pays. They know how much they submitted to the lawyer, but they're not tracking it. They don't know how much it costs them. This is a can of refried beans. Just basic Mexican aisle refried beans. If I can get it to come out of the can. Your trick with that is to cut and to cut. And then to get the beans off of the knife. And they fall out, in theory. Come on. The other trick, if you weren't watching, is I would take the knife and stab a hole right there. But that's really not safe. Noises! Come on, there we go. And I splattered a little bean there. Okay. Anyway, I've watched so many people go through the car accident thing, and they walk away with $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and they're really, really happy, and they still have a sore shoulder. Sore shoulder. And everything I'm seeing is that out of pocket they were out. If they got $5,000, they were out $8,000 out of pocket. And if they got $10,000, they were out $20,000 out of pocket, and they don't see it. And I'm adding this. This is hot wing sauce from the dollar store. And I'm adding a lot of it. Here, see. A lot of it. Squirt. And that's pretty much my dip, unless it tastes gross, at which point I'll adjust it. But I gotta get it mixed up first. Notice that I didn't put any salt in yet because cheeses have salt. And if you get used to natural flavors, you don't necessarily need as much salt as you think you do. And this is just stir it up. This is really, really good hot. And quite frequently I will put it into either the electric skillet or the rice cooker and heat it until the cheese is melty. But it's also fairly good as a cold dip, because all the flavors meld together and it doesn't just taste like refried beans. And now I'm having that hypoglycemic reaction where suddenly I'm having lightheaded spells because there's now food in front of me instead of ingredients in front of me. It's a type of POTS, postural orthopedic something, response, something, I don't know. Anyway, my body reacts from visual stimuli as if it was hardwired stuff. It thinks I've already eaten because I'm looking at food. It's a really stupid thing. It's a really annoying thing. And now I taste to see how it tastes. The other reason I don't add salt is because we're going to be eating it with corn chips, and corn chips are salty. And I like salt, and I'm saying don't add extra salt. So, that's what it looks like. I wish this, whoa, bump. I wish this camera were better because it's got better color than that. That works. I'm waiting to see if the heat builds up, because sometimes with cayenne products, you're 3 bites in and suddenly it's hot. But the heat did not build up, so I'm going to put a little bit more heat into it. There we go. Yeah, I put just a little bit more. Hot wing sauce is, it's not butter, it's oil, vinegar. It's Tabasco and canola oil with butter flavor added, pretty much. I used to make my own. I'll go back to making my own again at some point. Ghee works really, really well. Coconut oil works pretty good. Canola oil works okay. Just take a bottle of, I have a bottle of oil. Maybe I don't have a bottle of oil. It's probably on the kitchen cart. Anyway, take a basic bottle, you know, this size bottle of canola oil, and dump a bottle of Tabasco into it. Shake it up and then use it on stuff. It doesn't need the butter flavor. Okay. That's pretty much going to be dinner on corn chips. Now it's 13 minutes. I rambled about insurance and crap. I'll talk to you later. Bye.